What if everything you've ever been told about happiness, success, and self-worth was wrong? What if the key to living your best life isn't found in perfection, external validation, or even achieving that next big goal? Instead, what if it's already inside you, waiting to be recognized? In a world obsessed with external achievements and approval, it's easy to forget that the most important journey you can take is the one that leads you back to yourself. We all face moments of doubt, struggle, and pain, but it's in those very moments that we have the opportunity to discover something life-changing. You are already enough. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop searching for validation, stop measuring your worth against others, and start embracing your true self. Because when you do, everything around you will shift. You'll discover a power and peace that's been there all along, quietly waiting to be unleashed. So, are you ready to begin? There's an undeniable force within you, a power that's been quietly waiting to be recognized. It's easy to overlook this potential, especially when life seems to throw obstacle after obstacle in your path. But what if I told you that the most important thing standing between you and your dreams isn't skill or circumstance? It's how you see yourself. Your worth isn't defined by what others think of you, how many achievements you've collected, or how well you meet society's standards. No, your worth is intrinsic. It's already there, deeply embedded in who you are. The journey to unlock that power begins with one simple yet life-changing truth. You are enough. So often, we find ourselves chasing after approval, constantly looking for validation from the outside world. We believe that if we can just meet certain standards, then we'll be worthy of love, happiness, or success. But the real shift happens when we realize that our worth isn't something we have to prove. It's something we simply need to accept. The moment you understand this, everything changes. It's not about reaching a specific destination or being perfect. It's about understanding that you already carry everything you need within you. We live in a world that values perfection. But what if I told you that perfection isn't the goal, in fact? It's the very thing that keeps so many of us trapped. We've been conditioned to believe that we have to look a certain way, act a certain way, or achieve certain things before we're allowed to feel good about ourselves. But here's the hard truth. Perfection is an illusion. The constant chase to be flawless only leads to frustration, self-doubt, and burnout. Instead of aiming for an unattainable standard, imagine embracing your imperfections. Your flaws are not weaknesses. They are the very things that make you human. It's the cracks in the armor that let the light shine through. Perfectionism may offer a fleeting sense of control, but it also keeps you from fully living. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you open up space for something more beautiful. Authenticity, embrace your imperfections, and you'll find freedom and peace in the process. Healing isn't something you can buy or seek from external sources. It starts from within. To truly heal, you need to accept yourself as you are, not as you think you should be. So often, we find ourselves chasing some future version of ourselves, waiting for the right time to feel good enough. But what if the key to healing lies not in striving for perfection, but in accepting who you are right now? The truth is, healing happens when we stop fighting against ourselves and start embracing who we truly are. Self-acceptance is the first step in this process. It's about recognizing that you are not defined by your mistakes, your failures, or your shortcomings. You are whole, exactly as you are. The power of self-acceptance lies in the simple yet profound truth that you are worthy. Regardless of what you've been through, healing isn't about changing yourself to fit a mold. It's about recognizing that you are already perfect in your own unique way. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools you have in your healing journey, but it's often misunderstood. When most people think of forgiveness, they believe it's about excusing someone else's actions or letting them off the hook. But true forgiveness is about releasing the hold that past pain has over you. It's about taking back your power and finding peace within yourself, regardless of how others have treated you. The hardest person to forgive, however, is often yourself. We all carry baggage from our past, whether it's mistakes we've made or things we regret not doing. But holding on to guilt and shame only weighs us down. When you forgive yourself, you release the chains of the past and open up space for healing. Forgiveness doesn't mean that what happened was okay. It means that you're no longer willing to let it define you. You are free to move forward. Letting go is one of the hardest things we have to do, yet it's also one of the most important. We cling to things, whether it's relationships, habits, or beliefs, because they feel familiar, even if they no longer serve us. Letting go of what's holding us back can feel like a loss, but in reality, it's the first step toward making room for something better. Letting go isn't about giving up, it's about making space for the new. Every time you release something that no longer serves you, you create room for growth. Whether it's an old relationship that's draining you or a negative thought pattern that keeps you stuck, the act of letting go allows you to step into a new phase of life. It's about creating space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new relationships. The power of letting go lies in the realization that by releasing what's holding you back, you're actually moving forward toward the life you truly deserve. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools you have for creating deep, meaningful connections. It's easy to put up walls and pretend that you've got everything under control, but true connection happens when we allow ourselves to be seen as we truly are, flaws, fears, and all. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to authentic relationships. You let go of the masks you wear and show the world who you really are. It's in these moments of vulnerability that you'll find true acceptance, both from others and from yourself. Being vulnerable means embracing the full spectrum of who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when you do, you'll find that the world responds with love and understanding. In a world that's constantly telling us to do more and be more, it's easy to forget one crucial thing. We need to treat ourselves with compassion. So often, we're our own harshest critics, pointing out every flaw and mistake without offering ourselves the kindness we deserve. But self-compassion isn't about excusing bad behavior or giving yourself a free pass. It's about treating yourself with the same love and understanding that you would show to a dear friend. When you practice self-compassion, you give yourself permission to be human. You acknowledge your mistakes, but you don't let them define you. You allow yourself the grace to learn, grow, and move forward. Self-compassion is the foundation of self-love. It's about being gentle with yourself, especially when things go wrong, and giving yourself the space to heal and grow without judgment. We're often told that happiness comes from external achievements, a promotion, a relationship, a new possession. But the truth is, happiness isn't something you find outside of yourself. It's something that already resides within you. True happiness comes from within, and it's about cultivating an inner sense of peace and joy that isn't dependent on circumstances. When you realize that happiness is not something you have to earn or search for, everything changes. You stop chasing after the next big thing and start appreciating the present moment. Happiness isn't about achieving a perfect life. It's about finding joy in the journey, in the simple things, and in the love you already have for yourself. Once you shift your focus inward, you'll find that joy is already there, waiting for you to acknowledge it. You are the author of your own story, and it's never too late to rewrite it. So many of us get stuck in the narrative that others have created for us, or the story we've told ourselves about who we are. But you have the power to change that story at any time. Your past doesn't define you unless you allow it to. Rewriting your story begins with choosing to let go of the limiting beliefs and false narratives you've been holding on to. It's about reclaiming your power and taking control of the direction of your life. When you decide to write a new chapter, you open up endless possibilities for growth, transformation, and success. You are not a victim of your past. You are the creator of your future. Living in alignment with your true self is the ultimate freedom. It's about living in a way that reflects who you really are, without apology or fear. When you embrace your authentic self, you stop pretending to be someone you're not and start living a life that feels true to who you are at your core. Living in alignment means trusting yourself, your instincts, and your desires. It means making choices that honor your values, your worth, and your dreams. The freedom that comes from living in alignment is unparalleled because it's a life that feels true to you. It's about waking up every day knowing that you are living authentically and that every decision you make is in harmony with the person you are meant to be. And there you have it, the truth that changes everything. You are enough. Your worth isn't something you have to earn, chase, or prove. It's not tied to your achievements or the approval of others. It's already within you, waiting for you to recognize it. As you walk away from this moment, remember that the journey you're on is one of self-discovery, healing, and growth. Don't let past mistakes or the opinions of others define you. Instead, choose to rewrite your story, embrace your imperfections, forgive yourself, and let go of the things that no longer serve you. The world is waiting for you to step into your full power. You are worthy of love, joy, and peace, just as you are right now. So, take a deep breath, honor who you are, and remember, you are enough. Now go and live like you believe it.